on a 2004 Mercedes-Benz e500. I think this is the Sport. This is the air suspension that we're going to be doing. There's the new air strut, and here's the old one. This is kind of pretty funny how they had to put some wood blocks to actually move the car. This is how bad it was. Like, very distraught. Normally on the wheels you would have 17 millimeters or 19, I believe. So I'm pretty sure it's 17 that will hold the wheels. This one had aftermarket lug nuts. Jacking up spot right here, there's like a piece of rubber that you're going to be jacking up. So let me see. So you see how right there there's that little rubber right there? You need to jack it up from that. So there's 4 points on the car that have rubber mounts, and that's where you're going to go ahead and jack it up from. Do not jack it up from anywhere else like my customer did. See, as you can see, they damaged that. So they try to put the wood blocks right there and try to get it done themselves. Alright, this is going to be a very simple process, nothing too crazy. We're going to probably have to take off this nut and then probably get a pry bar and then lower it right down. I think that's how it should be done. So this is my first time doing it on this setup. We're gonna have our little ride height sensor that's on the shock itself. Or I don't know, I think this is for the adjust. I'm not too familiar with this setup. So this is the ride height sensor right here itself. So I don't know what this is. If you guys do know what this is, comment down below and let me know. What else? Very simple setup with the new air knot struts. We're going to get a new fitting that's already inside. Basically, we would just go ahead and take off this connector. You just squeeze this little tab right here and then pull right back, just like that. So push right there. And then we're going to go ahead and use a wrench to take this air fitting nut. Air is going to come out when you take it off. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, we can put a jack stand under where the lower control arm. I'm not gonna put one at the moment. I will a little bit later on, but I'm just kind of showing you. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the video. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. And we'll go ahead and start this video after the intro. Alright, so we're going to take off these two 8mm bolts. While pulling this back, there should be the sensor should be connected to that. It was actually unplugged for some odd reason. So anyways, you would go ahead and disconnect. You would just follow this wire that goes from the shock right here to have a yellow little sticker unless it was been replaced before. You would go ahead and disconnect that by pressing on the tab, or you know what, I think you can access it through here. So you just kind of spin these right here. You don't even need to take off those. So we can access it from through here, put our hand, and then so forth, and be on with our way. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just press that tab, and then yeah. Alright, next thing, what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and take off this lower bolt. So there's a bolt right here, and then there's another bolt on the other side. Those are both 21 millimeters. So on one side I'm going to use an adjustable wrench, and on this side I'm going to use the 21 millimeter. Then we're going to hit this bolt out. Then we're going to pull it out from the other side. Then we're going to go ahead and take off this 17 millimeter nut that's on the upper control arm. Alright, and then at the same time, while we have the nut right there, we're going to go ahead and hit this piece right here. So this, we're going to be hitting this unit, nothing else, just this piece right here. We're going to hit this knuckle. And right there, you can see how it got free. So we're going to go ahead and just fully take it off. Will they use that to hold it? Oh no. And then we'll just let this guy ride right out. And then our shock, we're gonna go ahead and push right down. I'm gonna get a pry bar, and then I'm gonna use my pry bar. So I'm gonna put my pry bar right there, right above the rack and pinion. It's gonna be under the subframe right here, and then we're gonna get our leverage. I'm gonna lower this down, push it right down, lift this up, and then move it over to the side. Then we're gonna go up from the top. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and take off the airline fitting first. It's gonna be a 10mm, so we're just gonna loosen this up. Now if it is aired up, air is gonna hiss out, so you can hear it right there. Alright, so we have that right there. And now we're gonna go ahead and take off the shock. There's 3 bolts in total, so one right here, one right there, and then one right here too. 3 13mm. So while I'm taking off this bolt, I'm gonna hold the shock with my hand. Alright, so while installing this new one, we are going to go ahead and install it first. So we're going to go ahead and thread it in first, and then we'll go from right there. So it's going to be kind of a little hard to show, but I just want to start a couple threads from up top. So I just want to get this threaded in, hold it from one hand. Alright, so we started our thread. Usually our knots come with new bolts. These are just fine to use, reuse. So we're going to start off the threads a little bit. So we're not going to connect these right now. We're going to leave these for later. This will be at the end when we connect this fitting and this sensor. So we just need to make sure we get all this bolted in first. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and put in our pry bar again, right under. And then we're going to go ahead and put our strut tower right there. Now if the bolt's kind of stuck like mine, we'll just tap it. And then we're going to go ahead and start our thread. Oh, and while I was tapping this, I put a little pressure on the lower control arm by lowering it at that same time. Oh, don't joke with me. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put in our upper control arm. So we got this bolted in, the bottom bolted in. Now we're gonna go ahead and connect our wire. Now, normally there should be something to have something to insert it in. There's really nothing. What I'm gonna go ahead and do, I'm gonna kind of zip tie this with this wire right here. So I'm gonna have these zip tied, just because there's really nothing else holding it. Yeah, there's, or unless, you know what, it might go right here. So yeah, I think that's perfect for that, because the other one wasn't even being held on by anything. So we're gonna go ahead and feed this right through here. We're gonna pull this back, feed it right through. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it from right here. It's gonna be a little bit hard to do with both hands, or with one hand. Let's see if I can connect this. All right, so we are connected. We're gonna go ahead and zip tie it right here, and then we'll call it a day. I think for that, that should be good. Or there should be another wire that this one should hang with. So with that new connector harness, you should have something that's just strapped to it or something. Well, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and zip tie that. All right, so next thing, get this to focus so you can see. We're gonna go ahead and push this back. Then this guy right here, usually you can pull this with your nails and it should break. Sometimes if it doesn't, what you can do is you can get a flathead and just spin clockwise or counterclockwise. Then we're gonna go ahead and pull this fitting off right here. Then right here on this piece, we're gonna go ahead and pull this back just like that, and then we're gonna just insert that right in, and then try pulling it back just to make sure. So push in and then pull back. If it pulls back, then you got something going on with the shock. And then we're gonna go ahead and insert this. And then don't forget to put these bolts right here, the little 2 bolts that go right here on the little inner fender liner. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put it on our wheel. Now these usually can be a little tricky, sometimes not, so just spin it until we can get our threads going. So now we're gonna go ahead and bolt down the rim. Now what I recommend doing is that you kind of snug this down. The bottom bolt I would start off from, and then you go up on top, and then you're gonna snug this down, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to center this rim. And after we get that down, once we get those both centered, wiggle the rim, make sure it's not lopsided because we don't want to damage anything, and then we're gonna go ahead and impact the way. All right, once we're done, we're gonna go ahead and lower the vehicle. I know this fender's really jacked up, but on the bright side, the car's not all the way down. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future, and thanks for watching.